Hello, my name is Brandon Ivey and I'm a National Sales Executive with Vitel Wireless. I had the first initial record of hitting the top position of the company in less than 60 days. 3.5 months into the company, I sit on top of the largest and fastest growing organization within Vitel. I'm documented in Business for Home magazine as one of the top money earners in the world in network marketing. I've crossed 5 figures a month in residual income. In 3.5 months, we have over 1,600 people on our team and growing. However, the title of this video is My Failures. And the reason why I'm going to actually talk about my failures is that you look on YouTube and you see a lot of videos from people who are bragging or talking about how great they personally are and what they're doing and what they've done, or standing in front of pounds of money, stacks of money, and showing off checks and back offices. And you know, that's all fine and good. But the one thing people don't realize is what those people had to go through to get to where they are. You know, people see the finished product, but they don't see what it took to get there. People see, well, Brandon, you hit that position in less than 60 days. Or our other superstar, Curtis Cross, did it in 40 days. No, it actually took years to get there. So before you can look at and admire the end result, you really have to appreciate the journey that it took to get there. So I'm going to talk about my failures. A lot of people don't like to talk about their failures, but I'm going to talk about it. I'll tell you where we came from. I got started in this industry in 1998. I was a senior at Morehouse College. My parents paid a lot of money for me to go to that school. The plan was to go to law school afterwards, get into politics, and enter corporate America. I got introduced to network marketing, and that just changed everything. I came back from Atlanta, back to California, and told my parents that I was going to be rich. I joined a company called ACN. I had a chance to go at a convention in Atlanta, Georgia, and saw those people. It just blew my mind. My mentor, Sam Orm, showed me a check for $12,000 that he made in 1 week. 1 week. Now, $12,000 is a lot of money today, but think back in 1998. For the week. I saw guys walk across stage getting $300,000 bonus checks. I was blown away. I knew that in corporate America, you can never make that type of money. So I basically told my parents, forget all those plans. I'm going into network marketing. I remember on my very first PBR, I was not coachable whatsoever. I was taught and told what I'm supposed to do. I had my own idea. I was told you need to go read your first year in network marketing. I said, I'm a senior at Morehouse College. I don't need to read that. Just because I say show up, people are going to show up. For my first PBR. And out of the hundreds of flyers I had placed, because they even told me you don't place flyers. It's not how you do it. I didn't want to hear any of that. I had a couple girls running around campus placing flyers all over the place for me. The day of my PBR, or what we call today grand opening, I had 4 people show up out of hundreds. 4 people. Myself, my roommate, my sponsor, and the person doing the presentation. I think that was Victor Huff. I wonder where he is today. Victor Huff. And they did my presentation. And I was devastated. And I contemplated quitting at that time. And that was the first time in my life that I was actually challenged on something that I didn't excel in. Everything else I always excelled in, everything I did except this. So I had the choice to make. I was on my way back to California. Do I quit, or do I accept this challenge and dominate? I'm a Morehouse man. What do you think I did? I accepted the challenge, but I humbled myself to actually listen and follow the system. So I did that. I quickly got promoted to, back then it was called EFT, Executive Field Trainer, or ACN was called, American Communications Network, before we went international. We had just launched a two-way pager, and we were looking at deregulating gas and electricity. The future was bright. The team I was with, GTU, Global Telecommunications and Utilities, run by Sam Orm, was exploding. My sponsor, I was the guy who got him to EFT, but he went back to Ohio and his team blew up. He had 2 regional vice presidents in his organization, and after 5 years I had a grand total of about 145 people on my team and 2,000 customers. I didn't really make so much money after 5 years, but I was committed because I heard a guy named Greg Provenzano say that if you just stay in for at least 10 years, you will reach the top of the company. So I figured, I'm not a quitter, time's on my side, I would reach the top of the company. Those top money earners were making 6 figures a year and more. So all I had to do was stay in the game. That's true to an extent, because I still know people in ACN 12 years later now still making no money. But they're not in ACN to make the money, a lot of them. They like the culture, the environment, they like the friends, the family. For the first time ever that they can go to a meeting and get recognized by their peers instead of chastised by their boss and co-workers at work. It's almost like a religion for them. I don't blame them for that. But I'm in this to make some money. But I got discouraged, and I did the one thing I said I would never do. I quit. Family life got involved. I got married. I was had my son. I quit. I was getting pressure from my parents saying, hey, you put 5 years into this, 5 years out of college, and you're broke. You're not in law school. We didn't spend all that money and sacrifice for you to go out there and do some pyramid thing. And I started listening to those people, and I quit. I went to corporate America. But while I was in my little cubicle, my partners kept moving forward. One was named Daniel Shorter. And he joined a company, and he did so well that he was featured in Success magazine. And I got that magazine, and I put it up on my little cubicle wall, and I looked at it every single day while I was in corporate America. But once you're in network marketing, it never leaves you. You may walk away, but eventually it just keeps bubbling to the surface. You can't help it. It's like you've been exposed. And the economy took a turn for the worse. People at my job were getting laid off. I was supposedly, or so they said, in a safe position. But I saw the writing on the wall, and I became open again. And I got a call from my original Morehouse brother, Robert Brown, who introduced me to network marketing, and said, hey, listen, we're getting back in the game. It's a company called KYANI. It's a health and wellness company, a juice product. Never been in that before. We were with telecommunications. So we joined KYANI, and I was going to use KYANI. I figured I had a good 6 months to a year before I got the pink slip to build my business so that I would have residual income and not worry about having to have unemployment if or when I got laid off. That was the plan. Just because you plan something doesn't mean it's always going to work out that way. And I got laid off, like so many other people. And that's a hard pill to swallow when you walk into your home and you tell your wife that you no longer have a job and you're the main source of income. And you look yourself in the mirror and try to figure what did you do wrong? What roads did you take? And then you go back to that day you actually joined the network marketing company and wish that, what if I was never exposed to it, where would I be? And then you ask yourself, what if I never quit? Where would I be? And I made myself a promise at that point, if I do anything, I'm going to see it through. I will never quit. I have a destination. I don't care what the vehicles are, because I never want to feel like that again. Powerless. A husband and a father can't provide for his family. Well, we're in KYANI. And what happened? I got promoted in the first couple of days. Like I said, I was committed. I had a strong why. But another thing I realized very quickly. One, not everybody actually found it a necessity to purchase juice. Another thing I found out that everybody in my upline, except for me, got some form of a signing bonus, or their position was paid for, or they had a great incentive to join the company, got grandfathered to position, except for me. I was the workhorse. I didn't take that too lightly. And I actually kept my mouth shut about it. I went to a convention here in Ontario, California for KYANI. And I looked into the future and said, at this pace, me being unemployed, I'm not going to be able to provide for my family, no matter what type of a superstar I am. I had to make a change. People couldn't afford $500. On the flip side, there were people in the company who were making it happen. I didn't make it happen. I don't point the finger at anybody else, but based on my lifestyle, what I was dealing with in my home environment, I was not able to produce on a level that needed to. So I joined an organization called CEOs Unlimited with my upline, which was Melvin Bradley, the co-founder, or the founder and CEO of CEOs Unlimited, with Alan Halliman. And we decided, you know, we want to be able to offer something that not just people that have a whole lot of money can join, but something that's for everybody. We had a philosophy. We wanted to save the world. And we joined a company called Escape International. And at the same time, almost everybody in my upline just kind of fell off from KYANI. So we joined Escape International, had a great concept where we're in multiple industries all under one roof, like a Walmart, so to speak. The biggest draw was the fact that it was free. I even have some videos up that's still on YouTube now from those days where I said, is there money in a free opportunity? And yes, there absolutely is. Quickly rose through the ranks. I was promoted multiple times and was considered the #1 producer on the West Coast. We put over 2,000 people in business in almost 6 months. We were rocking and rolling. We had a fantastic idea for what the company could do. The free part of it was a hindrance, but we were developing a system in place. And then the company gets bought out by Longevity. And we have no control over that. The compensation plan changed. I mean, it was friendly towards those at the top, but not so friendly towards those at the bottom. And we just got slammed and stopped right in our tracks. So we had to make a change real quick. So looking around, it's another failure right there. Joined an organization called Team Fam, for short, Team Family, run by David Ashby, out of Atlanta, Georgia. Great concept. $25 is all it costs to get started. And that organization was having tremendous success. And we joined it, and guess what? We had tremendous success. And we quickly realized, eventually, because we weren't getting all the answers we needed, that the Team Fam organization was set up as its own company and not a part of the company it was, which was TBA, which stood for The Bold Approach, ran by an owner named Fred Fitz out of Alabama. So when we realized that we're not actually a part of TBA, it got us nervous. You know, we didn't sign an agreement with Team Fam. We signed it with TBA. But all our money was going to Team Fam. And there was a reason for that, which we didn't find out until much later. It was a smart thing that Team Fam had going. So we decided, you know, if we're going to build this long term, the safest bet is to actually be with the company. And I had my downline ripped from me from Team Fan. Can you imagine that? Something that you built gets taken away by a snap of a finger overnight. So we go ahead and build TBA, and we quickly also realize why Team Fan set themselves up the way they did. The owner had an agenda, and the agenda was not rep friendly, let's put it that way, without going into too many details. But the bottom line, the owner changed the compensation plan 4, 5, 6 times in like 5 months. My income dropped 70% overnight with one change. Overnight. Again, during this time I was unemployed, I had to get another job. I entered back into corporate America. You talk about a culture shock. Coming back into corporate America after, being home. My son was born during that was here during that time I was home, and he didn't know daddy to go to a job. But losing your income 70% overnight, hey, you got to do what you got to do. You got to provide for your family. So I had to go back to corporate America. I also had to look for a way to make a large income stream so I didn't have to be on a job. And TBA was not cutting it. So I started looking into what everybody does these things, multiple streams of income, which is another trap. But I said, hey, I need to make more money. I lost my income. So I started looking around, and when you're a person of influence in a company, because I was the corporate spokesperson, I did the corporate webinars, you have influence over people that's not just your organization, but everybody in the company. And any move I make will be noticed. And since I started making moves, you had other leaders, some that were close to me, some that backstabbed me, some that just wanted to curry favor with the owner to be the first to run back to him to tell him what Brandon Ivey's doing. I was terminated from the company and lost what little income I did have, and I was not even paid the last month's commission that I actually earned. Immediately. Terminated. So here I am, laid off from corporate America. I had my downline ripped from me in one organization, and I'm terminated from another. But I joined a company, since I was terminated, called NLC International. And we quickly, like before, rose through the ranks. I got to a position in the company where there was only 2 of them in the entire North American continent. In fact, the only person that had a higher position than me was not even in the country. I became the company spokesperson type. I was doing the webinars and the trainings. We built a large organization very quickly, and I made a lot of money. I was making 4 figures a month. Pretty good. For some of the gurus, that's chump change, but you have to understand that 90% of the people in our industry never make $1,000 in a year, let alone in a month. So we were rocking and rolling with that, and I got to tell you, even today, I considered it had great product line, great marketing plan, great compensation plan, horrible corporate leadership and ownership. It was a one-man show, and I was losing all of my leaders left and right. And at that pace, every 3 months, I'd have to continue to recruit more people to replace the ones that I lost, and I would never get ahead. See, my only goal is to make 6 figures a month minimum in this industry, not less. And at that pace, the most I would get to is maybe $10,000 a month. And if that's what I'm making, imagine what the rest of the people on my team is making. I consider myself a very hard worker, and it's hard pressed to find somebody that's willing to do more than what I'm willing to do. But we're rolling for a good 6 months with NLC, making some good money. And lo and behold, I get another notice on my new job that there might be layoffs coming. And when I looked at what was going on with NLC, based on the decisions the owner was making, my income was going in reverse, backwards, not forward, at a time where I needed money the most. So I had to make a decision. Well, it was actually forced upon me. When the owner decided to make some changes to the comp plan, which scared off all of my leaders. They jumped ship and went to other companies and opportunities. All the leaders in the company and other legs left. I was like the last man standing. Everyone's like, why are you still there? I do believe in loyalty. And I believe that we could make it work. One of my mentors told me that you can't make anything happen. You can put your best foot forward, but you can't make anything happen. And hope is the wrong business model to build on your business. So here I am facing getting laid off for the second time. Had my downline ripped from me one time, terminated from another company. And here the owner's making decisions that's, again, cutting our income. I'm losing everybody in my downline. So what am I going to do? Attempt to stay the course on a sinking ship? Or be open to finding the vehicle? And I got to tell you guys this, because I am not a hopper. I do not believe the grass is always greener somewhere else, and my track record shows that. I try to make things happen and work. But when a company gets bought off, your downline is ripped from you and you're terminated, I mean, you really don't have a choice. And so I was looking for another way to make a stream of income, because whatever we're losing from NLC. And I found it, the company called Vitel. But I know there's going to be a conflict of interest concerning NLC, because NLC has a wireless division, Vitel has a wireless division, but NLC has so many other divisions to it. It's got coffee, it's got health and wellness, it had everything. So I talked to a couple of my leaders and we said, you know, we can still use NLC for all of the other products and services it offers, but when it comes to wireless, we got to roll with Vitel. It's going to put more money in our pockets. It's going to put more money in our team's pockets. It just makes more sense. They have a better run organization. But however, since I do have influence, I did not attempt to recruit my entire downline or anybody else not in my team into Vitel. I didn't. There's no proof. There's no evidence. But I did do a marketing campaign called Something Is Coming. So I built Vitel from scratch. Scratch. Not bringing the existing team in. From scratch. For 2 weeks without even ever publicly mentioning the name of Vitel. But again, when you have a leader like myself that starts to make moves, it gets noticed. And it got back to the ears, whether somebody, well, yes it was, somebody on my team or somebody close to me ran back to the owner to say, look what Brandon's doing. I learned something about business partners, relationships, and friends over the years. The most dependable hand that you can always count on is the one at the end of your own risk. Always remember that. Somebody will always sell you out. So they run back to the owner and attempt to tell him that I am cross-recruiting. Again, there's no evidence to that fact. So what he does, because I was still building NLC, I put in, I think, maybe 5 or 6 brand new people during that 2-week time. And on the 15th of payday, which pays for the previous month, the owner of the company of NLC terminates me so that he doesn't have to pay me commissions or bonuses from what I did in the month of April and the entire month of March. Terminates me a month before I'm going to get laid off from my job. You don't think I had a big why? I had a very big why. That is still left unresolved. So now I'm going into Vitel. I did not ask for a signing bonus. I did not sign directly to the company. I did not get grandfathered in at the top of any company. As a matter of fact, I even told the owner, look, I'm not going to promise you numbers, but I will promise you massive exposure based on the skills that we have. So we joined Vitel. Brandon, how did you hit that position in 60 days? Because I had 8 years of training and learning by trial and error. And my why is so freaking large that whatever small obstacle that trips most people up, old corporate didn't return my phone call. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, somebody said that Vitel does. You know, this is what I heard when I joined Vitel. I had one person tell me it's just a go-between company. It's gonna go away just like Wow Mobile and all those others before. I had another person tell me it's light year 10 times better than Vitel. I had another person tell me I heard Vitel's not paying people over there on time. Another person told me Vitel's been around for 1.5 years and there's no real leadership over there. Nobody's making it happen. You need to come over here to OG. I had another person tell me telecom is a dying industry. There's never any money to be made, even though it's a $2 trillion industry and growing. Everybody wanted to tell me why it's not going to work, but none of them could tell me why it could work. And I saw that it could work if we work it. So we joined. Put 40 people in the first week. 137 people the first 30 days. 507 people 60 days. Hit national sales executive. 1,000 people in 80 days. And 3.5 months in, over 1,600 people in the company. Promoted 5 national sales executives in 3.5 months, which took the company 1.5 years to promote 2. Is it because we're lucky? Some people said so. Is it because we brought an entire organization in? Some people said so. No matter what you do, you will have people that will say whatever. Who cares? So you want to know how we got to where we are? Because I failed over and over and over and over. Laid off from my job. Failure in ACN. Failure in KYANI. Failure in Escape International. Had my downline ripped from Team Fam. Terminated from TBA. Terminated from NLC International. Are you getting the picture here? When most people would have quit on just half of one of these things happening to them. See, here's my philosophy. If your why is strong enough and you know where it is you want to go, the only thing you need to do at this point is find the right vehicle. The vehicle is not the end result. Your destination is. The vehicle just takes you on your journey. And if the vehicle breaks down, you get out and get into a new one and continue your journey. Where most people quit, take their ball, go home, point and blame the finger at everybody else except themselves. Nobody wants to take responsibility for their own actions anymore. The grass is always greener somewhere else. Not also to mention we had 2 members of our upline in Vitel who want to see the fact that we built their organization to where they are and leverage that to try to get deals with other companies. And then when they get the deal, realize that we're not going to follow them because they had no influence on us, attempt to sabotage our business by going after all of our people. and saying we're not making any money, when just a month before they were the ones trying to recruit us into their business. Oh, you think this has been easy? You think that this is just falling into our laps, that we just got lucky? See, luck is where preparation and hard work meet each other. We've been waiting for this. We were hungry. Les Brown says you gotta be hungry. We're hungry. I can care less what my upline does, and if my entire downline quits, I will still be at the top because I'll go get another one. I don't care if corporate doesn't respond to an email. I don't care if somebody doesn't get their special question about what's the owner's social security number. I don't care about any of that. Business is not perfect. I'm gonna make it happen. Some people cry about my sponsor didn't do what they're supposed to do. Really? I have had downlines leave, entire downlines, and I didn't lose a night's sleep. It's gonna happen to you. What's your mental toughness? I already quit once. I'm never quitting again. Quitting cost me 4 years. 13 years, yeah, really about 8, because I quit. I got terminated twice. I had my downline stolen from me. I've been backstabbed. I've had people lie on me and say that I steal their downlines. Really? I have other people that want to take credit for the work that I do. And I'm still here, and I'm gonna still be here. What about you? Until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, you will never change. So why did I hit National Sales Executive in 60 days? It's because I failed in the past. I know where I'm headed in the future. The question is, do you?